1:08. I've just started my shift and I may get interrupted by the phone. I don't know, but it's not ringing at the moment. So I thought I would just really quickly start this. I may be talking really fast, but I want to get this done really quickly so that I don't get interrupted and so that the video isn't like 15 minutes long. So basically I've just logged in yesterday, or last week it was, now that you would have seen it. I did the mid shift on a Friday. So this is a weekend. I have a bit more time to go over the different things and the procedures and stuff that we do. I'm not going to tell you like too much, but just to give you an idea of what we do, you know? So basically when we log in, we have a bunch of things to log into. So as soon as I log into the computer, I use my work phone and I get a temporary code that connects me to the VPN. 1 second, phone's ringing, sorry. So yeah, we connect to the VPN, which is what connects me to the hotel, basically. So once I've connected to that, I then open the remote desktop. This is what gives me access to the network at the hotel. So in the remote desktop, I have OnQ, which is our reservation system, and I have OnQ RNI, which is the behind the scene reservation system. So I log into OnQ. This is where I can make bookings, amend, cancel. I can take payments, sort out bookings that went no-show, late cancellations. We have groups, we have temporary house accounts if something wasn't paid on a room or a virtual credit card didn't work. All of the information is there, so that's very important that I log into that. Then the next thing that I log into is Synergy. Synergy is what we use for housekeeping. So I can put in requests like that call I just had, which was for an adapter. So I put it in Synergy, I assign it to runner 1 or 2 or whoever it is at the time, and then they get the job and then they take whatever it is to the room. You can also put in if a guest requests to have their room cleaned, you can also do that through Synergy. There's things like if a guest safe is locked, you can do that, but it will go to security. If a guest says they have no hot water or the AC is not working or something maintenance, then it will go to engineering. So there's a bunch of things you can do through Synergy. After I've logged into Synergy, I then open Google Chrome. The first thing I log into is Kipsu. This is a messaging service that is used basically through the Hilton Honors app. So they can basically text us and we get everything from, you know, guest complaints to invoice requests, upgrade requests, people that want specific rooms, people that need to make amendments on their bookings, and just general questions like if they need something delivered to the room, like they want a dental kit or something, they can message us rather than calling us. So we have that open all day. The next thing I log into is what we call the lobby. So this is a website that is used for internal Hilton employees. This one has, it has 1,000 things on it, but the two main things that we use it for is PLS Pay Secure, which is what we use if a company wants to pay for a room or someone else wants to pay for their friend or family room. If someone wants to pay for a room in advance and it's not an advance purchase booking, rather than us doing it the old-fashioned way and sending a third-party credit card form and having the card details physically there, we send them a link and they do the payment securely themselves. That way card details aren't being sent all over, they're not in emails, it's not, it decreases the risk of fraud, it's higher security. So we log into that and we check that every day to see whether any payments have been made. Once a payment's made, we then go onto OnQ and we post it onto the booking. So we have the confirmation number for the booking on PLS and we post it onto the booking. The other thing that we use the lobby for, well, okay, in a leisurely sense, we can use it for Go Hilton, which is the internal travel program for Hilton staff where we can look for discounted rates at the hotels. And then the other thing that we use it for, oh my God, I'm just drawing a blank. Oh, Amazon. So what we use for the phones, it's called Amazon Connect. So we have quick connect links on our Amazon Connect. We're just looking at them now. So we can connect to say like the front office duty manager, concierge, reception. We can connect to people in the planning team, events team, basically anywhere in the hotel. The idea is because we are switchboard as well. 1 second, phone is ringing. Okay, they might call back because the call got cut off. It sounded like they were calling from another country. So I'm just going to leave the booking open and see. So Amazon Connect is what we use for the phones. We are the switchboard. So we take all of the calls that come into the hotel from 7 a.m. until 11 p.m. and then reception takes over during the overnight period. We get all internal, external calls. Everything comes through to us. So we try to deal with all the calls as they come through. Occasionally you get the people that, no, I want to speak to the front desk. No, I want to speak to the front desk. And you know what can you do? They want to speak to the front desk, you put them through. You can't deny someone to be put through to wherever they want. But then other times they'll call and I want to speak to I need to speak to the concierge. And you say, oh, how can I help you? What do you need? And then they say, no, I want to speak to the concierge. And you say, okay, that's fine, but I need to take your room number. I need to let them know what you need. And then they go, I need someone to help with my luggage. And you're like, oh, right, okay, that's fine, no problem. I can sort that out from you from here. I'll put in a request for you, get someone to come up and help with the luggage. That's fine. And they go, oh, okay. So the switchboard can be a little complicated sometimes, especially in the evenings with room service, because if they don't have the link in the room for the room service, the QR code, then we need to email them the link, or we need to go on the website and do it with them. So that can take a hot minute. Anyway, it is now 1:15. So now that we've logged into everything, I'm just going through the emails, responding to some emails and actioning emails. That's basically what I'm going to do. My colleague tonight, she loves to do the checklist, so she's forbidden me from doing the checklist, but I will do some emails, everything, and then I will come back and speak to you guys a bit more. But like basically the emails over the weekend are not that much, because what we get is, you know, the office people are not there. The Monday to Friday people are not there. So we're not getting as many emails over the weekend. So it is a little bit more chill, but it's basically emails from, say, like, you know, Agoda, Booking.com, Expedia, things like that, where we're checking bookings on the system, or just general guests that want to make bookings. So let me go do that, and then I'll come back and I'll explain some more to you. Other things that we do is we check the handover. It's literally 1:30, so I just thought I would come back and speak to you now. We always check the handover. Oh, 1 second. Sorry, someone just called me and accused me of not cleaning their room. Unbelievable. Anyway, so we check the handover to make sure we're not missing anything from the night before, the morning, depending on like when you're starting work. I was working last night, so I'm pretty well aware of what was going on. I'm just currently putting in the system that this guest wants their room cleaned. We have a different handover on the weekend. So during the week, we have an early shift, a middle shift, and a late shift. Sorry, a checklist that we need to complete. So on the weekend, it's only the early shift and the late shift. There's not as many tasks. It's opening at the moment, but because I'm on a middle shift, I guess I'm technically on I'm on a middle shift, but I'm also on a late shift, if that makes any sense at all, because I finish at 8. So if I was doing a checklist, it would be the late shift checklist. So this morning, the checklist has all been done. I will go over that one with you guys another day, maybe when I do an early shift. But for the late shift on the weekend, so we read the handover, we log into all of the things that we need to log into. We check PLS to see whether anyone's made any payments that we need to post. We also do an SRB check, because there are some SRPs where people book and it automatically goes to an upgraded room rather than a standard room. So this is a fault of the system, but we need to check it and make sure that we put them back in the standard rooms. We also do an arrival check. So we log into OnQ RNI, which I said was the behind the scenes reservation system of OnQ, which is what we use to make bookings. So in OnQ RNI, we can see overbooking limits, we can see guest counts, room counts, availability, all of the revenue and inventory details we can see there. So we log in there, we pull the arrivals list for tomorrow, and we basically cross-check it with the arrivals list that's on OnQ. So everything from Booking.com, Expedia, etc., they all come through the channel management, which is OnQ RNI. If for some reason that channel management disconnects, then it won't appear in our system automatically, and we need to manually input it. So by checking the arrivals, we can go, oh, this one's not in there, so we need to input it. Or if something is on OnQ but it's not on RNI, then we need to investigate, because perhaps it's cancelled and it hasn't cancelled on our system. So we need to check that as well. We also go through our advanced deposits, because we have certain rates where they're non-refundable rates, they're sale rates, they're cheaper, that people can book, but they need to be taken, the payment needs to be taken at the time of booking. So every day we go over the advanced deposits and we take the payments. If the card declines, we then send them a payment link through PLS PaySecure. We email them to alert them to the fact that their card is declined and that we've sent them a payment link. And we put a trace on the system, which is basically a reminder to say that in 2 days we need to check again. If they have not replied to us, then we can cancel the booking. If it comes to a stage where we need to cancel the booking, then we cancel it. We send them an email to alert them to the fact that the booking has been canceled and they will need to rebook it. This does happen sometimes because sometimes people don't get back to us, but we can't keep bookings in the system with declined or invalid methods of payment. The other thing that we check is our trace reports, which is basically like the reminders. So if we need to, for the advance deposits, remind the next shift or the next day that we need to go in and check if a payment's come in, we need to chase up a valid method of payment, we need to chase an agent for billing or something like that. We put these traces on the bookings and it will flash up on that day in the report, so that then we go over that report and we go, oh, okay, we need to follow this up today. So that's the other thing that we do. And then the last thing that we do is we update the handover. Me personally, I update the handover as I go during the shift. Some people just wait till the end of the shift and do it, but if something comes to mind, I put it in. I find that communication is super important, especially when you're working remote, because you're not in the same space as the rest of your team. So you need to all be made aware, and you also need to remember that it's not just your immediate team as reservations, but the hotel is a team as well. So we also use things like service recovery on the booking. So if a guest has an issue, we can then put it on the booking so other people in the hotel can use it, can see it, because they use the same system as us. So that's basically what we're going to do today. I'm not going to keep you guys here because it's going to get very long, but I wanted to kind of give you a little bit. I thought now that I've been here 3 months, and I have a better idea of what's going on, to give you guys a bit more information about what we do, because these remote jobs are coming up a little bit more, and then it might be something that you're interested in, I don't know. But once the checklist is done, for me, I'm always getting the checklist done straight away. Then I literally just focus on calls and emails for the rest of the shift and anything that the managers need doing or people from other departments need doing. But on the weekend, usually it's a little bit chill, which is nice and less stressful. So I'm gonna go do some more emails, sort out whatever, wait for some calls to come through because it is super quiet right now. But I hope you guys found this really interesting. I will do one on the early checklist. If I get really bored, I'll do it today. But I will do one on the early checklist to explain all of that to you as well. And then, yeah, if you guys want to know anything else about remote working or anything like that, let me know. And I'll speak to you next time. So don't forget to subscribe, give it a big thumbs up, hit the notification bell, and I will speak to you next time. Bye, guys.